shake his head and give this answer without fail. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, he says he tells no lies and that he never jokes. Confronting with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax. A modern Don Quixote, he hates the windmills, claiming to protect the birds and whales he says they kill. But don't believe that story, it's really just a shill. He just did not want to see them wild golfing on Scottish hills. A hoax, he said it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, changing a storm path with black marker strokes. Confronted with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax. Casting mail-in ballots is something that he's done. Now he wants to ban them for each and every one. He claims it's for integrity in each election, but he won't believe the results unless it's him that's won. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, he'll fool you with distractions like real sugar in Cokes. Confronted with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax. He promised to release all the Epstein files that caused all the MAGA base to react with smiles. But how long has he put it off? It sure has been a while, and now he's calling this a hoax, protecting pedophiles. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, okay.
This just in. A sudden spike in logic levels across the city. Citizens report seeing a man with glasses and a podcast mic.
We go now.
Live to Liberal Dan.
Who you gonna call when Nazi writing's on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, cause you know we got a plan. The right wing talking shit, but he ain't about to quit. He'll take his proton pack and zap your logic cause it's whack. So who you gonna call when the writing's on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, and the rhetoric will fall.
It's being reported that Liberal Dan is setting up what appears to be some sort of straw man containment field.
Calling out your lies with his mic, he'll vaporize. Cross the streams in your dreams, bitch, you know that he's too wise. You're like Slimer talking crap, but you walked into his trap. Yo, it's more than entertainment, it's misinformation contained. So who you gonna call when the writing's on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, and the rhetoric will fall. The Statue Liberty, the writing you can see. So bring the huddled masses, it's a war of the classes. While Trump may think he's Vigo, Dan can cut through that ego. He's got the facts to prove him wrong, got that logic like Egon. Your logic is a ghost, cause you know this chick is toast. When you follow MTG, it's conspiracy, you'll see. There's no need to taser, he's got wit like Occam's razor. Liberal Dan cuts those lies with his Jewish face laser.
It's unbelievable. Liberal Dan just used the literal dog whistle to lure a large group of internet trolls into what is being called a self-collapsing rhetoric singularity. In all my years of reporting, I've never seen anything like this.
So don't call to be a heckler, you ain't no Judge Rexler. He'll bust you like Scolary, cause your logic's looking hairy. Right-wing callers think they're cool, but they sounding just like Zool. You the dog, he the man, and yo, his name is Liberal Dan. So who you gonna call when the writing's on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, and the rhetoric will fall. Liberal Dan, Liberal Dan, Liberal Dan.
Proclaimed king, a groper in chief, stealing our country, a crooked orange thief. Faux patriots who are poorly educated, wearing red hats and also unvaccinated. Liberal Dan will see us through. It's the best show that you're not listening to. So when you hear the call, animals unite, Liberal Dan Radio, talk on the left, that's right. A failing media that's barely treading water, they're too inept to fight this new world order. Corporate pigs are at the trough, hear the squeals. The swine won't bite the hands that feeds them meals. But Liberal Dan will see us flow. It's the best show that you're not listening to. So when you hear the call, animals unite, Liberal Dan Radio, talk comes the left, that's right. A leftist voice on air, exposing MAGA treason, breaking through their lies with facts, logic, and reason. Unmasking hypocrisy, the truth will be our guide. Call out their lies, justice is on our side. Cause Liberal Dan will see us through. It's the best show that you're not listening to. So when you hear the call, animals unite, Liberal Dan Radio, talk on the left, that's right. Liberal Dan Radio, talk from the left, that's right.
welcome back to Liberal Dan Radio, Talk from the Left, that's right. This is your host, Dan Zimmerman, coming at you live from New Orleans, Louisiana. Join us in the chat rooms, either at liberaldanradio.com or twitch.liberaldanradio.com. Either way, you can ask questions in the chat. I'm not sure if I'll be opening up phone lines today. I'm rather exhausted today. It's been a hell of a day. I'm still on track for having Cassie home on Tuesday, which is awesome. Can't wait for that to happen. So lots of, moving parts, I guess, with that. I guess there's always an option that, she could be pushed back even further, but we're just going to hope for the best and hope that she's ready to come home on Tuesday so we can have her. Not only do we miss her at home, the animals miss her as well. And then there'll still be lots of physical therapy going on, I'm sure, for the next weeks and or months. Last time, I think she got out of the hospital at the end of February. She didn't finish physical therapy or occupational therapy or whatever it was that she was taking so long for. She didn't finish that until like the end of September, early October. So let's see, hold on. I was in the middle of typing something as the song ended. Anyway, so I had to shout out to the Mod Squad, Aaron and Jolie, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Steve from across the pond is here.
It's no Scottish, it's crap.
We got Susie. Thank you, Susie. One of the other mods for other people, but always sharing my links, and I appreciate that. Let's see, Jeff from just north of Uranus. Apparently all these jokes are close to Uranus as well, right? Jackie, good to see you. I saw Molly in here somewhere. There's Molly. Finally scrolled down to get to... Let's see. Teresa's here. Frank is here. Good to see you both. Thank you for joining. Make sure to smash that like button. Suzanne, good to see you too. Just as we scroll on down. If I missed you as I'm scrolling, Christina, good to see you, Christina. I think I've gotten everybody, but if I missed you, I apologize. So anyway. I don't know. I don't know how well I'm going to talk today. I also don't know how long the show is going to be today, simply because of the fact that, we have a JD Christie. Good to see you too. Again, just super tired, and I think everything is catching up with me today. So we have a couple of things that we want to talk about, but we won't. We're not going to go over too much. Let's do one thing first, though. I was actually rather impressed. I've been using the Agent Opus AI tool to be able to create the videos that I create. Liberal Dan U videos, the music videos that y'all just watched, some additional music videos that we'll be seeing sometime in the next 2 weeks, and then just other videos that I've created, using AI has made my productivity much better, much faster, and I've been able to generate a higher quality content. I know there are people who don't like AI, whatever, but it's helping my show grow. So I'll use it when I can, right? So anyway, so there's this new CDance 2.0 Agent Opus. Everybody, a lot of other people use it, but Agent Opus is also using it as well. CDance 2.0 exists. But the thing is with CDance 2.0 is that if a video would normally cost 160 credits to make, if you use CDance 2.0, it's going to cost double, so it costs 320. I get 200 free credits a day to create content with, so if I'm going to make a video with the older version, I can make it with my free credits and not dip into my store, so to speak. But if I want to use the CDance version, I'll have to either figure out how to get the video down to 100 credits so it only uses 200 credits, or I have to dig into my credits. And here's the thing. It comes out great. Like, I'm going to give you a sneak peek right now of a video that I made on green energy and how the fossil fuel industry is slowing down progress in green energy. So let's go ahead and watch this real quick, and you can see, let me put the volume on. We can see just how it is. And here's the thing. With the other times that I've used AI, I've usually had to do 2 takes or more. With the Liberal Dan Radio theme song, no, I think with Liberal Dan theme song, I needed 3. With the Sparklerverse song, I needed 5 videos to be able to cut and paste enough to get usable clips from each video to generate a video that was greater than the sum of its parts. So here we go. Here's this video on how the fossil fuel industry is screwing us over, basically. And so we can listen to this for a second, and then I'll go in and do a little bit more about the decisions I have to make based on those credits or whatever.
For decades, the fossil fuel industry hasn't just sold energy, it has sold a narrative. Behind the scenes, internal documents and public campaigns reveal a pattern. When a threat emerges, control the story before the story controls you. Renewable energy, solar and wind, represents exactly that kind of threat. Renewables don't rely on extracting a finite resource. Once installed, they generate energy from sunlight or wind resources no corporation can own. This disrupts a century-old business model built on scarcity, control, and pricing power. Economic fundamentals are clear. Increased supply with low-cost alternatives, and demand for fossil fuels drops. As demand falls, so do prices. For an industry that depends on maintaining high-volume, high-margin sales, that's a direct hit to the bottom line. Major fossil fuel interests have funded campaigns designed to cast doubt on renewable energy, not necessarily through outright, easily debunked falsehoods, but through distortion, exaggeration, and selective truth. You've heard the talking points. Solar and wind are unreliable. They only work when the sun shines or the wind blows. They're too expensive. They can't power a modern economy. Each statement contains a grain of truth. Intermittency is real. Infrastructure costs exist. But what's often left out is the context. Advances in battery storage, grid management, and rapidly falling costs have dramatically improved reliability and affordability. That missing context isn't an accident. Industry-backed groups and lobbying organizations have spent millions amplifying the downsides of renewables while downplaying their progress. In some cases, messaging campaigns have mirrored earlier efforts used by other industries to delay regulation and protect profits, emphasizing uncertainty, promoting doubt, and framing solutions as impractical. The goal isn't always to convince everyone. It's to slow momentum, because delay has value. Every year that renewable adoption is stalled is another year fossil fuel demand remains artificially higher than it otherwise would be, and higher demand helps support higher prices. This isn't just competition, it's market preservation, and it doesn't require a secret meeting in a smoke-filled room. It's driven by incentives baked into the system. Protect assets, protect revenue, protect influence. Meanwhile, the public is left sorting through conflicting claims, unsure who to trust. The result? A slower transition, a clouded debate, and an energy future shaped not just by innovation, but by those determined to hold it back. In the end, the question isn't whether renewable energy works. It's whether the truth about it is being allowed to. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to liberaldanradio.com for more talk from the left. That's right.
All right, so there's that video. And look, there's maybe one or two places where I think I could copy some of the video, and there's one or two things where the graphics are weird or whatever, but that's an easily fixed thing with just reusing other clips or extending the other clips or whatever to make it kind of look seamless and kind of cover up those things, or just extending the end screen or whatever as we would need to. But here's the thing, do I go the one-shot route and then burn some of my credits, or do I try and make the video in 3 different times using my free daily credits, and then that way I can still make a video? It still takes me a little bit more work. Or I guess the other option is, do I try and make the videos either to only use 100 credits, so make them shorter, or do I cut the videos up into 2 and say, well, here's this first half of the video, here's the second half of the video, let's combine the 2, and then we can combine the 2 and make it greater than that. That's probably what I'll end up doing if I'm going to continue to use the C-Dance, but which is easier for videos like that where I just paste in a script and have the AI voice work for me. But it won't be as easy, I don't think, with music videos, because that's going to be even more difficult. So, anyway. CatFam, Stephen Miller might be gone soon. Why do we say that? I mean, I tried to Google that really quick while the video was playing. I didn't necessarily see anything so far, but let us know why that would be the case. Let's see. Sorry, did you say what AI? What? I don't even know what you're typing right there, Jen. But thank you for being there. To control, use the freebies up. I mean, that's typically what I would go for, because I'm trying to do things on the cheap as much as possible, especially with now that I'm going to have lots more hospital bills coming through. with Cassie still being in the hospital till at least Tuesday. So, you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, AI. Oh, you said Cdance. Yeah, the AI that I'm using for videos. Agent Opus, the one that I use to create all the videos so far, has the option to use Cdance, but it just costs more credits. So I got some additional free credits from winning some sort of daily contest or something. So in this case, for this particular video that I created, I didn't have a problem burning those free credits, additional free credits, but still, I don't want to dig into my bucket because the bucket of credits that I use for the Agent Opus clips, all of those, you know, nice AI little videos or whatever, are the same bucket of credits that gets used to make the chop up the videos from the long form videos into the shorts, which has helped my channel grow, at least view wise, and maybe a little bit subscriber wise, but it's helping the channel grow view wise as well. So don't want to burn those up, and don't want to have to replace those more quickly than I would normally need to, right? So no, I do pay. I have paid, Jen, for the Agent Opus itself, and there's I think the affiliate link is in the YouTube video that you can use to sign up for Agent Opus. That being said, I do get 200 free daily credits that come along for the Agent Opus videos themselves, not to cut up the other videos, but I get those 200 free daily credits a day. I don't know if it's because I was an early adopter or if that's just what you get for Agent Opus, and they want you producing more and more videos using Agent Opus, so they're giving you free credits to make new videos. You know, there's also contests where you can get additional free credits, but there's still a centralized bucket of credits that I don't want to drain too quickly. Thank you, Susie, for sending me an email. I'm probably not going to even look at it today, but I'm not... you know, but again, I don't really want to like type anything that's being said bad about Hal in chat. But I guess I would like to, you know what's going on as such, so I can be prepared for it if I ever do see it. So, let's see. What else did I miss in there? What's horseshit, Frank? I don't know what you're talking about. Susie, I have to move out of elderly parents' house. They're getting worse and I'm over my head. I'm very sorry to hear that. What's the unfortunate thing is like the morning that I basically told my wife that when my mother-in-law was living with us, the day that I told my wife that I didn't think that we would have what it would take to take care of her for much longer, that we probably need to look into finding someplace else where she can stay. And that was the day that she died, unfortunately. Hopefully, I mean, that it's just bad memories for me, I guess, of the reminder of when it gets over your head and when it starts getting too much. You know, that's what, you know, I was already braced a little bit for something bad to happen from the night before, but let's see. Let's see. What else did I miss? Electrical engineers. What about electrical engineers, Frank? Wait. Is Wes in the chat? I don't even see Wes. Unless Wes is posting on another name. I don't know. Yeah, Murphy's Law, unfortunately. Hey, Big Hook, good to see you. Hey, Vasantha, good to see you as well. Wait, what? Start talking about sherbet. I'm going to get hungry if you just start talking about sherbet. Sherbet, I guess. I used to always call it sherbet, but it's not spelled sherbet. I didn't think so, Jolie, but anyway. What else? What else to talk about? We have other videos to respond to, other things to talk about. I guess the first thing we could talk about here is, let's bring this over here. Something that the Trump administration did that's potentially a good thing. Shocker, I know. It's not every day that we can say, hey, I agree with something that Donald Trump has done. Now, maybe he hasn't gone all the way with doing the things that it should be done. The Trump administration reclassifies state-licensed medical marijuana, which we have here in Louisiana, as a less dangerous drug. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche signed an order Thursday to reclassify state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. The order shifts the designation from a high level of regulation to a much looser level. It also provides a tax break to licensed medical marijuana operators, which is good for them because they shouldn't have to be dodging, all these things and not having the normal tax breaks that other businesses would have simply because they're selling what is a legal product in the state. And I don't even know why the federal government should have any say over those drug classifications if it's not being transported across state lines legally. Like, you can say it's illegal to transport marijuana across state lines, and that's fine. But if the medicinal marijuana is being created and sold and distributed or whatever within the state of Louisiana itself, that should not be a federal issue. But there are arguments that have been made that where they, I guess this is where I would say that sometimes we have manufactured silly interpretations of the law in order to make sure that we could put some regulations on things, but I think that sometimes that comes back and bites us on the ass. So that maybe what I'm saying sounds like what a conservative might say about the things, but that's conservatives when they actually support the Constitution. Most of the time the conservatives do not. Most of the conservatives, at least, do not care about the Constitution as much as they like to claim that they do. What's up, Chad? Good to see you. Even though you're playing peekaboo with your emojis. Thank you. Let's see. Again, it doesn't legalize marijuana under federal law, but it will impact the 40 states that have approved medicinal marijuana programs. On Twitter, he said the order calls for an expedited hearing to reschedule marijuana and state-licensed marijuana approved by the Food and Drug Administration from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. These actions will enable more targeted, rigorous research into marijuana safety and efficacy, expanding patients' access to treatments and empowering doctors to make better-informed healthcare decisions. Look, if a doctor tells you that you should be able to use medicinal marijuana to deal with whatever condition they think you need it for, you should be able to get it, and you shouldn't be able to get in trouble for it, for using it, for having it, etc. The DEA is going to be holding an administrative hearing beginning on June 29th. Under direction of President Trump and acting Attorney General Blanche, DEA is expected to expeditiously moving forward with the administrative hearing process, bringing consistency and oversight to an area that has lacked both. The order will expedite the process by which state-licensed medical marijuana operators register with the DEA. It also affirms that cannabis researchers will not face legal repercussions for using state-licensed marijuana. Last December, Trump signed an executive order directing officials to expedite the rescheduling process. The president stressed at the time that he was not lifting the federal ban, which has been effectively in place since the passage of the Marijuana Tax Act. Of course, Trump cannot, eliminate the Marijuana Tax Act, all by himself with an executive order, because that's a law and presidents can't just eliminate laws. He also warned of negative effects of recreational marijuana use. Of course, why would he? Who gives a shit? Again, if you're not harming anybody, it shouldn't be any of the government's business, right? He's like, if it's abused, it's never safe to use powerful controlled substances in recreational matters, and in this case, if you take a look, illegal and unregulated drugs, very, very bad thing, like no one's ever seen. I added that part themselves. Trump has taken other steps to expand drug research, also signed an executive order on Saturday to accelerate studies into certain psychedelic drugs that can be used to treat mental health issues in veterans. Again, another good thing, something that I would agree with. Christina, what do you call bullshit about? Do you think that they're doing a honeypot thing there where, because one of the things that crossed my mind is, they're going to have all of these distributors register with the DEA, and then they're going to come smacking them down, basically doing a bait and switch. Here, come on! It's kind of like, the police officer programs that sometimes programs in quotes, I should say, that they'll sometimes have, where they'll be like, hey, if you've bought drugs, come down here to the police station and we'll test them for you and make sure that they're safe. And the idiots show up to the police station with their drugs, like, here's my drugs. And they'll be like, okay, you're under arrest, fuck you. So don't get me wrong, absolutely, there is that possibility that these people are just being shitheads and are trying to, fool people into saying, hey, this is what we're doing and this is where we are in order to, get more drug arrests. But, I think that would definitely, have some pushback even from conservative folks who might, especially the conservative folks who are, you know, anti-government getting in the way of you choosing to do recreational drugs or any other drugs or whatever. Yeah, I mean, we do all know that everything that he says is a lie. Well, not everything he says is a lie. When he says, you know, when he says that he could grab women by the hoo-ha, I know that was him telling the truth because he was found civilly liable of doing just that. So the many times when he tells us about himself, we can believe those things. You know, he even admitted one time, you know, to say, hey, that, you know, the reasons, you know, he uses bankruptcy is because he was able to use it and use the law. Don't hate him for, you know, don't hate the player, hate the game type of argument. Of course, the media never grabbed onto that, and the media instead tried to focus again on him being a bad businessman, when in reality, he just used bankruptcies as part of his con artist lifestyle, so to speak. So, see, the Iran war, Susie says, is also threatening the helium needed to cool MRI machines, and I need thoracic and cervical MRI before hip replacement. I may have spinal surgery first. Wow. Let's see. Bald Thanos, I can't use marijuana at my apartment, even medical marijuana. Why? Even if it's an edible? Can you not have edibles? Like what would be the problem with you using an edible in your apartment? Is it like preventing you from smoking or even vaping? Or are you just not, it's an addendum in my lease that prohibits the use of marijuana. I would read that very carefully too, because if it prohibits the smoking of marijuana, then, you know, you can have an edible, right? But if it prohibits all use of THC, then it's like, how are they going to find out? Like, how would they find out? I don't even know how they would find out. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Paul Tennis, I can use edibles, but I can't, but not the smoking. And so are you banned from smoking anything at all? You know, you can't smoke cigarettes and or, you know, hashish pipes and or weed. Today that would be consistent or whatever. So, I didn't expect this to get into that big of a marijuana talk. Let's see. Catfem. It is illegal to give a duck a lit cigar in Florida. What happened? Something probably happened with that duck. Maybe a duck set the whole Everglades on fire or something because it flew away with the cigar and then set something on fire, right? Good to see you, 250 kilo ohm. Let's see, waited too late to order food, going to grill some burgers. Make me some. And hey, Trisha, good to see you as well. What about fish or pork? I guess if you had a smoker, but they might actually have rules on whether or not you can use a grill or a smoker on the balcony. They might require you to use smokers in certain areas of the complex that's not on a balcony or something like that. I'm assuming that's the case because I've rented apartments before and that's been the case often. Frank, eat stuff with a face. I had one time when I was in high school. I was like, so why are you a vegetarian? To this one person who was in my class, and she's like, I just can't eat anything with a face. So I grabbed her orange and I drew a smiley face on her orange and gave it back to her, and she just looked at me very, very meanly. But everybody else laughed, so, you know. Christina, I'm 65 and I've been smoking since I was 13. Always found a way to toke up, right? I mean, it's been, no, sorry, not getting into song. My use of it hasn't been as lengthy of a duration. I mean, I did try some, like a little bit in college, a little bit, you know, in my break between college, but most of my use has taken place in the past, maybe like year and a half or so, once they legalized medicinal marijuana here in Louisiana, especially when I had my knee pain previously. And I still have the knee pain kind of when I'm sleeping, like if I sleep wrong or whatever, which is why I sometimes need to use it to help me get better sleep, right? You see, Jennifer, I'm in property management and you can have as many edibles as you want, but if you smoke in your apartment and it bothers your neighbors, there's a problem. Most properties have banned the smoking of cigarettes, anything else inside besides apartments, but most people do it. At most still gets a letter or at least, at most still to get a letter or at least violation. Fair enough. Now, I wonder if that would include vapes as well. So back then you could just go to jail for a roach in the ashtray. Pretty much, because, you know, it's the wacky weedus, right? So, hey, TV2 Live, good to see you. I eat edibles in my apartment to keep it from alerting the neighborhood. Fair enough. If it doesn't smell, no one would know. Pretty much. what I have done is usually, like, I have vapes too, and I'll use the vapes. This should have been talked about on Monday. We should have been talking about all this stuff on Monday. Now, here's the other thing. Why did Donald Trump not sign, or why did either Donald Trump sign the executive order, or why did Acting Attorney General Blanche, why didn't he sign that order on Monday? It would have made much more sense for him to sign that on Monday than for it to happen, like, now. Like, you should have done it on 420, but clearly they have no sense of humor, right? So, Frank, damn hippies. Get off my lawn, damn hippies! Good to see you, Christine. Thank you for joining. What sucks is that even though it's legal in my state, I live in federally funded housing. Yeah, that blows. Maybe, I mean, and who knows? Hopefully, or maybe if it's in federally funded housing, maybe if it moves to Schedule 3, maybe you can at that point use it. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but, you know, maybe this would be beneficial to you if they're actually telling the truth. I mean, because, you know, stop clocks and all being right twice a day, or broken clocks being right twice a day, or whatever. Susie says Iran has seized 2 ships. Interesting. Yeah, the whole thing. Again, it's one of the things, again, I disagree with. My other point that I was trying to make when I called in the Stephanie Miller show the other day, after I made my point about the Make America Fluish Again, is the fact that I highly disagree with use of Taco with him chickening out, and I didn't get the chance to talk about that because I am truly I truly believe that this is a matter of market manipulation and not just him chickening out. But let's see, Chad, I turn on my trim from Harvest into can of butter and add to my food, grilled cheese, eggs, bread, butter, anything really, nothing goes to waste. Let's see, in Chicago, every place you go reeks of bad weed on the expressways and market store parking lots. It's gross. Did you see that Devin Nunes got sacked from Truth Social? No, I did not see that. That's awesome. Did somebody insult his cow, or was he too defensive of his cow? I don't know. Dan, you should call into Stephanie Miller show as a. Why would I lie about who I am? As a, you know, I should call in just as myself, because, you know, I want to say, hey, I'm Liberal Dan, and then have people come to see Liberal Dan as, oh, this is Liberal Dan guy. Here's more information about Liberal Dan. Go check out his show. Lather, rinse, repeat. Get more subscribers. You know, it's ultimately what it's about. Yeah, JD. Moo. Yeah, I was looking into trying to turn some of the product that I had into some can of butter, but I wasn't quite sure on the process or whatever, and I didn't want to put any of the stuff that I had to waste. Let's put it that way. Welcome back, Aaron, or I should say, welcome back from letting the dogs out. Welcome back. Susie, I made ham fried rice for dinner, still haven't eaten. What do you do when you make the fried rice? Like, what do you, like, do you use anybody's particular recipe, or, like, what do you do? Hal Sparks does a great, I mean, I'm sure I could do it, impressions. I do some impressions just fine or whatever. I could be like, oh my God, I can't believe it, whatever, oh my God, whatever. Or something like that. I don't know. I haven't put enough time into making a teenage girl voice or whatever. But, Frank, anyone sober here, for fuck's sake? At the moment I am, yes. At the moment, because this is just water. I was half tempted to do something on 420, but I'm not. I didn't, apparently. Christine just woke up. I'm about ready to go to sleep. That's my issue. I'm about ready. I'm tired. I am tired. Anyway, other fun stuff before we react to a couple of videos. Again, this is probably not going to be a very long show. I mean, we're already at 8:30, but, you know, so we may not go much past an hour. We will see how the other two. We're going to react to 2 Trump videos, and one of them is super duper short. So, gunfire inside Mall of Louisiana kills 1 person and wounds 5, according to Baton Rouge police. 2 groups exchanged gunfire. It's the Wild Wild West in the Wild Wild Food Court at the Mall of Louisiana, killing 1 person and wounding 5 more. Authorities initially said as many as 10 people were injured, but the number was changed a few hours later. Police said 5 people have been arrested. If you're going to act like this in Baton Rouge, if you're going to do things like this, you're going to get caught, says the mayor of Baton Rouge, Sid Edwards. About 1:30, 2 groups argued inside the food court and started shooting at each other. Lovely. The chief asked witnesses to provide any video they might have. Right now, there's no known threats to the public. Dozens of police cars were clustered in the parking lot. Multiple helicopters hovered and drones were there too. Desiree Baton, who works at a clothing store, said she and other workers dashed inside a break room to protect themselves. We hid there until cops came and got us. Kennedy Barnum, 22, said she had gone to the mall to get lunch. At the food court, when she heard a woman on the phone outside say, "I'll call you back. There's an active shooter in the mall." Within 5 minutes, Barnum said law enforcement had swarmed the mall. She saw people running or crying, including one girl she's described as hysterical. We spoke to security guards. She told us that there was an active shooter there. People were shot and injured. We should leave immediately. So all the fun stuff. But no, we don't have to do anything about guns, right? Gun violence is not a problem in this country, right? Not one bit. But the other story is a former police officer was arrested for allegedly planning a mass shooting at Jazz Fest here in New Orleans. He expressed interest in harming black people. He was arrested Wednesday after authorities found information suggesting he was planning a mass shooting at a festival in New Orleans. And see, that's what you're supposed to do, to kind of compare two kind of unrelated things. When you find out somebody's going to do something bad, you stop them from doing it. You don't let them do it and then react to it later. You know, kind of like what Benjamin Netanyahu did as it pertained to 10/7, right? Christopher Gillum, 45, from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Man, imagine driving all the way from North Carolina to go to New Orleans just to murder people. That's just ridiculous. But I guess some people, you know, I can't even fathom the mindset of somebody, so I guess I will never be able to understand why they would act like that, right? But he was found in a hotel in Destin, Florida. He had a handgun and 200 rounds of ammunition. Authorities obtained information. Gillum planned to travel to a festival in New Orleans, which is Jazz Fest, which is going on this and next weekend, to conduct a mass shooting and then want to off himself by cop. His arrest came as Louisiana authorities sought him on a charge of making terroristic threats, and the community prepared for, again, Jazz Fest begins today, runs through May 3rd, 4 days, I think, each week. I think they added a fourth day on the second week, too. The festival was founded in 1970 and draws about 400,000 attendees each year. Gillum, they didn't say which ones, but, you know, if it was now, it's now. Gillum's family reported him missing on Tuesday. The Alamance County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina told the AP, adding that Gillum has a history of self-harm. Family also indicated he had a Glock handgun and had expressed interest in harming black people, law enforcement officials told CNN. But he fled the state before police could draft paperwork to involuntarily commit him for psychiatric treatment. Despite his comments about black people, Lyons said there were no criminal grounds to detain Gillum because there was no victim. Investigators in Alamance County and the city of Burlington determined Gillum was traveling to Florida and began to alert other law enforcement agencies, leading to his eventual arrest on charges out of Louisiana. It is unclear at what point Louisiana officials became aware of the mass shooting plot or when the charges were brought against him. So he worked for at least 3 years in law enforcement, or no, he worked for at least 3 law enforcement agencies over the years. He was a law enforcement officer in North Carolina for more than a decade. He was a police officer in Chapel Hill until 2019, until he resigned and took a job as an officer about 3 hours away at the Carolina Beach Police Department. Then he joined the Orange County Sheriff's Office as a detention center officer and left the job there July 2024. Spokesperson for the Sheriff's Office said Gillum then returned to Chapel Hill Police Department as a non-sworn employee before leaving for another job in a year. So yeah, law enforcement, former law enforcement, and a white guy. And not a trans person, like they want to tell you that all the trans people are the dangerous ones. No, it's not the trans people. It's people like this. License plate reader technology helped police find the suspect. Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aiden said on Wednesday night's arrest highlight how technology like Flock and strong partnerships between agencies can help prevent potential violence. So justification for Big Brother, right? I mean, I'm not going to complain about, things that are used to, that are passive. If you're passive and you can catch people passively, that's fine. I just have some problems with some of the other ways that, police try and get things done that raise ethical questions in my mind, like, especially when it comes to not being able to confront your accuser. See, the attack raised questions about how the city secured Bourbon Street and how a heavy-duty truck was able to drive on a pedestrian-heavy road. And I was pertaining to that attack was pertaining to the one that took place on New Year's Eve, the previous year or whatever. Jazz Fest will be held at the fairgrounds. Of course, it's not necessarily. I don't know if they've actually said if he was planning on going inside Jazz Fest or if he was planning on simply going downtown when it was more and more people. But I mean, I don't know if he's ever been to Jazz Fest. But I mean, there are situations there are stages that might deal with more rap R&B type content, but most of the people that you see there, it's a lot of white folks. There are a lot of crackers out there. It's not just black people going to sing. No, there are black people who go, clearly. One of my favorite and funniest stories from Jazz Fest was we went to go see Rod Stewart one time, and he was at what was then called the Acura stage. And the seats to watch Rod Stewart it was so packed by that stage that where we were able to get seats, I was equidistant to the Congo stage where they had Ludacris performing. So in my right ear, I'm hearing Rod Stewart going, "Tonight's the night. It's gonna be alright, 'cause I love you, baby. Ain't nobody gonna stop us now." Anyway, he's a little higher voice than me or whatever, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to get that high of a register. So anyway, that's the song that's playing in my right ear. In my left ear, I'm hearing, "Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch." So it was a very surreal experience, to say the least. So yeah. That was fun. There's also there was one time where it was just raining so hard. Dr. John didn't come on, but Billy Joel performed in the rain and then played a song about, I forget which song mentioned rains from Billy Joel or whatever, but we were able to see Billy Joel, and we were drowned rats, sitting in our chairs watching Billy Joel. And then there was another time where it was, I think I can say that this is probably very close to when I first bought my first set of Crocs. And I was wearing my Crocs at Jazz Fest, and it was pouring down rain, and Counting Crows and Better Than Ezra were at one stage, but ZZ Top was at the main stage. So I was like, "Oh, I'll go watch Better Than Ezra with you, or Counting Crows," whichever the one was first. I think Better Than Ezra was first. And then I made my way over to the Acura stage to go watch ZZ Top, because I'd never seen them, and I thought it'd be awesome to get to see them. And then the crowd had formed this large kind of circle around this just big lake of water that had formed, by all the rain. And I was like, I'm wearing Crocs. I just waded through the water that was only about an ankle deep or whatever. I just walked right through it and got 10 rows back because I had no problem sitting or standing right there in a little puddle of water because my shoes allowed it to do so. And I got to see ZZ Top from a great location with a lot of people participating or partaking in the herbal green substances, and I got a contact high or whatever. Bald Thanos, military personnel got arrested for insider trading, and his name is Van Dyke. Nice. Like last name, like related to Dick or somebody else. Let's bring that. I did hear about the person was doing insider trading because he bet on one of those, speculation websites that they were going to take out Maduro, and they did that about 4 hours before Maduro was taken out. And so he got in trouble for that. But they want to say that these sites aren't gambling, right? They're not gambling, right? For insider. It helps me if I can spell correctly. See, federal prosecutors Thursday unsealed an indictment against U.S. Army Special Forces soldier, accusing him of using his insider knowledge of the clandestine military operation to capture Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in January to reap more than $400,000 in profits on a poly market, the prediction market site. Justice Department said Gannon Ken Van Dyke. So his last name is Van Dyke. So it's Gannon Ken Van Dyke. Speaking of toking up or whatever, were they high when they named this person? Because what the hell? So he was involved in the raid, the pre-dawn raid at Caracas. Justice Department said the Commodities Futures Trading Commission filed the actions against Van Dyke, the first time U.S. officials have leveled the criminal charges against someone over prediction market wagers. Now, I fully believe that these are things, they shouldn't be considered commodities. These things should not be considered commodities. They should be considered gambling, and they should be regulated like gambling. But I guess in the funny twist here, because they decided to regulate it like a commodity instead of regulating like gambling, they could go after him for securities fraud and insider trading. So I guess that decision bit this troop on his ass, which is kind of interesting. Oh, it's a Dutch name. Okay, well, there you go. I mean, I know Van, whatever. I mean, I have a friend whose last name is Van Veen, and she actually lives in Canada as well. But the first two names are, you know, I wouldn't say Americanized because she's Canadian, but not, I guess they kept more Western sounding names. I don't know, but not Dutch sounding names. Let's see. Let's see. Sitcom Last Man Standing is American sitcom featuring Taylor Lautner as Mike Bassett, conservative, married father of 3 daughters in Denver, Colorado, who works. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. Kind of got cut off there. But yeah, I had heard that story earlier today, but I was wondering how they got him, and I was like, that's right. They're treating these things like commodities and not like it's gambling. So. Let's see. Prosecutors suggested Van Dyke left a digital paper trail by signing up for Polymarket with his personal email. When online sleuths and media reports drew attention to the large payouts from the Maduro trades, Van Dyke asked Polymarket to delete his account, according to prosecutors who say Van Dyke claimed he had lost access to the email address he used to open the account. The same day, he also allegedly changed the email address registered to Polymarket. Behind the Maduro trades, Neil Kumar, Polymarket's chief legal officer, said on Twitter that the case shows that bettors on cryptocurrencies powered site can be identified when the company works with federal investigations. It's not anonymous. You will find out just like this guy. Of course, this whole thing reminds me of a joke where you had a actor. A guy wants to go to be an actor, so he goes and he speaks to an agent about being an actor, and he says, he gives his performance to the agent. The agent's like, okay, what's your name again? And he goes, Penis Van Lesbian. And he goes, what? That's your name? Yeah. I was like, would you be willing to change your name? Because I don't know if I could market you like that. And he goes, no, I made a promise to my mother on her deathbed that I would never change my name no matter what the reason. And he's like, well, I'm sorry. I can't justify you putting you on my list because I'm not going to be able to do anything with you. And I'm sorry. Best of luck. Whatever. So like 10, 15 years later down the road or whatever, the agent sees the same guy, Penis Van Lesbian, out and about, and he's like, hey, how are you doing? Did you ever make it in acting? Did you ever get, land any roles in acting? He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. I thought about what you said a lot, and I thought maybe if I didn't change the spirit of the name, that maybe I could make a little tweak to the name and change it. So what did you change it to? He goes, Dick Van Dyke. Anyway, funny little joke there. So, Susie, the rice tastes great, but I'm not hungry after the day I've had. I think I'm just going to get in bed and listen. It's understandable. I mean, everybody has had rough days. I've had a rough day. Lots of people have had rough days currently. So it is what it is. Sorry.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Anyway, so.
I thought I'd bring up a subject.
I don't know why that started so soon when I immediately opened this thing, but Donald Trump had a little things to say about the reflecting pool. So Donald Trump talking about the reflecting pool and the changes made to the reflecting pool.
I thought I'd bring up a subject of interest. I do a lot of this as president and try and save money.
Yeah, try and save money. Is that why he's, tearing down the entire East Wing for his ballroom? Is that why he wants to make a large Arc de Trump or whatever it is that they're going to call the thing? That's all about saving money, right? Yeah, whatever.
And one was the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, which everybody knows. That's where Martin Luther King made his great speech. And
I'm surprised he'd be like, nobody knows this, but the name of the pool is the Reflecting Pool, and I'm telling you because nobody knows, but we know. Anyway.
Where others have likewise made great speeches and great events held there. It's very famous. It was built.
Because everything has to be made about him, too. He has to make everything about him because he's, his ego just knows no bounds. And there's no reason that his ego should know no bounds because he doesn't have any reason to be that egotistical because he's a giant piece of shit. But, everything has to be made about him.
In 1922, and it's more than 2,000 feet long. It's 167 feet wide. It's very big. That's like taller than any skyscraper, 2,000 feet. And here's a...
It's bigger than a skyscraper, even though it's on the ground, so it's not standing. But, I can't make logical arguments, so I'm just gonna talk out of my ass when I'm not shitting myself.
Picture of it, you probably recognize it. Right now it's got no water in it because it was in terrible shape. It was filthy dirty, and it leaked like a sieve for many years. So I actually went with Secret Service and a group of people, and I took a look at it. One of the people with me was Doug Burgum, our great Secretary of the Interior. This comes under his...
And I don't know why it's under him, because he's the Secretary of the Interior, but the pool is outside, it's not inside. I don't understand it, it doesn't make any sense, but he called it the Interior, so I'm going to call it the Secretary of the Exterior when it comes to things like the reflecting pool. Anyway.
Purview, and he said, yes, we've had a lot of problems with it. It's not working, it hasn't worked for many years, and it's always filthy dirty.
Kind of like your underpants or your Depends diapers, right? They haven't worked for years and they're always filthy dirty.
And they said, well, we're going to solve the problem. And they had bids to fix it. They were going to take the stone out, which was granite, very expensive, very...
And I didn't want to take it for granted, but they told me it was anyway, but I took it for granted, so we shouldn't be taking it for granted, but we're going to take it for granted.
Thick, and replace it with stone. And it was going to cost $300.
I'm surprised you just didn't want to put asphalt over it or something, or say, that's the best way to fix things. You put asphalt, don't worry about the underlying problems. Just cover it with asphalt, and then it'll be perfect. It'll look wonderful. We'll like it.
$1 million. And it was going to take maybe more than 3 years. And I said, no, there's a better way of doing it. I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to call all 3 of these people that have worked for me in the past doing swimming pools. That's all they can do is a swim.
Wait, does he have people that has worked for him in the past that he hasn't stiffed yet? I mean, that's a shocking thing right there. If he has people that has done work for him that haven't, like, you know, given up on him because he stiffed them because he refused to pay them the full billed amount, I would actually be shocked to hear that.
Swimming pool. And I said, give me a good price. We can do it for maybe $1.5 million to $2 million as opposed to $300 million. We scrubbed the surface of the existing.
And by we, I mean they, because I would never do menial labor. Not one bit, not ever. We would never get down my hands and knees and do any sort of work. The only work I like to do is when I'm working on my backswing.
Granite that's been there since 1922. We then grouted all of the granite, fixed it up, took about 2 weeks. And now we have a nice clean surface on which we're putting a industrial grade swimming pool topping.
A topping? You mean a liner? Are you a topping, huh? It's like ice cream. I'm gonna put sprinkles on it too, but not like Sleepy Joe. Like it's a different type of ice cream topping. Kind of like how other people topped me when I was at Epstein Island. Wait, I shouldn't say that out loud.
And they said, what color would you like, sir? It's called
Yeah, I'm sure they said sir.
American flag blue. I said, that's the color I want. I want American flag blue. It'll last for 40 or 50 years. There'll be no leaks. There'll be no anything. It'll look gorgeous.
250. You stole my joke, 250 kilo ohm. Because what's that black stuff called? Flexi steel? I was about to say Flex Seal. I went and got Flex Seal. Saw it on an infomercial. And even though the Billy Mays died, I still saw it on a commercial and I got it. If it works on a boat, it can work on the pool, the reflecting pool. Anyway.
Just beautiful. So it's a story in business. And here's the difference. Because somebody said, well, sir, but wouldn't it be a better job? I said, no. This is a much better job for much less.
Well, it's probably going to have the same effect as asphalt. Like, you know, he's saying that it's going to last for 50 years, but all it really has to do is last till he croaks, because then people won't be able to come after him for it, right? And then it'll come back, and then they'll be like, oh, well, we could have fixed it for this amount of money, but because Trump did this bullshit, it's going to cost twice as much now. Because that's what Donald Trump likes to do. Donald Trump likes to cover problems so that he can't see them, because
If Trump can't see it, you must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. Object permanent, a milestone missed. If Trump can't see it, he must not exist.
Josh sees, we call it the reflecting poo. That's what I call it. It's the reflecting poo. If you poo in it, it gets reflected.
Less money. It will look far more beautiful than it did in 1922 when they built it. Much more.
It'd be so much better. There'll be a big Trump underneath you. We're going to have it say Trump at the bottom. So if you're flying over it, you read Trump. And then someone's going to, like, you know, make sure the T gets scuffed out so you only see rump or whatever. And that'd be fine, right? Because he has to put his name on fucking everything.
More beautiful. So we build it in much less time for much less money. But I don't mean much less. I mean numbers that nobody can even believe.
Like no one's ever seen. No one's ever saved this money in the federal government. And then I'm going to take all that money that we saved and I'm going to have more people stay at Mar-a-Lago and it's going to go in my pockets.
So it's $1.5 million versus 300. It's 2 weeks versus more than 3 years. And that's just the way it is. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you for your attention to the splatter. Oops, I shat myself again. Sorry, I have that problem. That's why we got the brown chair, to make sure that the stain doesn't really show. Anyway, I guarantee you that within the rest of his term, there'll be a problem and it'll start leaking again. And they'll be like, well, I don't know, sir. He'll be like, they told me this, and sir, we don't understand why it's not working. So I'm going to have them come back and work on it again, and they're going to keep working on it till they get it right, and we're not going to pay them, because I don't like paying people to do work for me. So, I'm so sick of him. This dumb motherfucker. Oh my God, his voice makes my skin crawl. I know, it's terrible, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's plop the laptop back down, and then there's the other bullshit that we're going to talk about, other things that he done. Delivers remarks on April 23rd. This one was, I think, different from the earlier one about health prices. So we're gonna, you know, because again, he makes this updated, you know, produced video with all the different camera angles or whatever, you know, trying to be all fancy pants about, you know, the reflecting pool when there's, you know, tariffs and a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz and, you know, the Iranian war and all the other crap that's going on. But the important thing is that, you know, we talk about the fucking reflecting bowl. You dumb piece of shit. that leaking is worse than the president's leaking. The leaking from the reflecting pool is worse than the leakage from my diaper. I'm sorry to say, but the leaking was like no one's ever seen. Christina, sorry, Dan, both my middle fingers are up in his face, not yours. I appreciate that. That music, it's like a cheesy YouTube ad. What, this music?
If Trump can't see it, you must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. Object permanent, a milestone missed. If Trump can't see it, he must not exist.
Anyway, oh, made Catherine laugh. Good to hear that good to see that you're laughing. That's one of the things I like to do. I mean, I'm no Hal Sparks by any stretch of the imagination, but if I'm still able to make y'all laugh, it makes me feel good. Hell, I felt great when Hal Sparks actually laughed at my whatchamacallit, the commercial for Liberal Dan's Chopper City. So, what's up? Take me to Tiffany's. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Let's see. You can't leak or lie, or can you? Taking me off. Heard you on Stephanie Miller. You were awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You know, again, that's one of the reasons I called in. I mean, I had something to say, and the screener was cracking up at all the things I was saying too, so she found it funny. So I guess that's good. Oh, but that's a sympathy compared to the music in Trump's. Oh, Trump's video had weird, odd music. I see what it is. I was like, are you insulting my music? But no, I get it now. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's see what old Donald Trump has to say here in front of all the people. I mean, like, clearly, if you're in the Donald Trump administration and you want to have, like, you know, you want to stand behind him, you don't stand right behind him. See, like, nobody's standing in the splash zone. Nobody is standing in the danger zone right there. Everybody has stayed clear of that area right here because nobody wants to risk getting an immediate whiff or getting splattered on. So he can say, thank you for your attention to the splatter. So yeah, nobody is right there, which, you know, I think is very telling of their fear of what might happen down on that chair. And of course, Vance is like, as long as it's not a couch, it's fine. Highway to the Donny Zone. Yes, the blast zone. Yes, stay away from the blast zone. And yes, Fan saying can't leak a lie, but can lie about a leak. Whatever's being fixed will not be leaking in 6 months. Exactly, because again, it's just like when he was talking about his like, I don't want to have large traffic jams in Washington, D.C. because they go digging to fix the problem. You can just put a layer of asphalt and it works fine. Just fix it with a layer of asphalt. You know, again, because it doesn't fix the underlying problems, and you're going to have more problems later, but as long as you put asphalt over it, you can't see it, so the problem then no longer exists to Donald Trump.
If Trump can't see it, you must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. Object permanent, a milestone missed. If Trump can't see it, he must not exist.
Anyway, it's funny because, you know, usually it's the other song that I'm playing frequently, but I'm finding reasons to play that one a lot this time. We also don't have over on the Twitch stream. I haven't seen a Church Every Game yet, probably because he's over watching Hal, because I think Hal already started, right? So, and we'll probably finish before Hal too, because again, I don't have too much stuff to talk about today, and I'm dead tired. So, good to see you, Kevin. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Anyways, let's go ahead and listen to this piece of shit and what else has to be said about his remarks from. I even know what this is about. It's just remarks from today. So I'm coming at this flying blind. Like, at least I knew a little bit about the reflecting pool crap. I mean, not the crap, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe when he did go into reflecting pool, it did crap. I don't know.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Hal just announced no show tonight. He has a Nerd Halen show at the Viper Room. Ah, okay. That's fine. We do have 42 viewers, which is actually a little higher than normal for a standard show. I mean, it's higher, definitely higher than Wednesday numbers because, well, you know, other people. But
Thank you very much, and I'm told this is a rather historic meeting because these countries have been bordering each other for many, many years, and it doesn't happen much, although they like each other. I found that out today, and I've sort of heard of.
they've been fighting, but they like each other, but they don't. It's like Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, all the stories from the Bible. I love the Bible, especially the Trump Bible with my signature on it, because that's the best Bible. Nobody has a better Bible. I took out all the parts about infidelity and cheating on your spouse because I will covet everybody's wife. That will be taken out. There's 9 commandments in the Trump Bible. Anyway.
About that. They actually like each other, Lebanon and Israel. And we had a great meeting with the very high officials of Lebanon. And
how high were they? I was going to have a meeting, then I got high.
Very high officials of Israel. And we think that the president of Lebanon and the prime minister of Israel over the next couple of weeks will be coming here. They've agreed to an additional 3 weeks of, no firing, ceasefire. No more.
I don't like no firing. I love being able to fire people. Firing people is the best feeling in the world, Tim. You're fired. It's great. It's wonderful. I recommend everybody do it at least once. It's wonderful. I love doing it. Yeah, this is the entire cabinet, or at least the liquor cabinet. If it's the liquor cabinet, it's missing Keg's breath. So I guess it's not the full liquor cabinet, right? Liquor, I hardly know her. Anyway.
No firing. Let's see. We hope that happens. It's not going to happen between them, but they do have Hezbollah to think about. And we're going to be working with Lebanon to.
Look at that. Look at the little cheat sheet right there, or whatever. Can we expand that a little bit? Let's see if we can just expand it a smidge just to kind of look and see the little cheat sheet thing he has going on right there. Like, it's got, like, you know, there's a big little stack of paper, and they've got pictures next to it, and they got, I guess, some bullet points or whatever that could be made. Like it's really interesting just to see exactly. I mean, I'm surprised it's not drawn in crayon and it's not like connect the dots or whatever. I'm surprised it's not, you know, even more childish or childlike, I suppose. But anyway, let's see more about what this idiot has to say.
To get things straightened out in that country, I really believe it's something we can do pretty easily. Just
like Ukraine and Russia, very easy, first day. That war ended on day one. You don't know it, but nobody knows. But it really was ended. They're just pretending because they want to make it look like they're still going on, but it's really been over all this time. Trust me. I have the best lies. No one has better lies.
the power of...
Exactly. Bible verses from the book of Samuel L. You're right? Nah, man, I'm pretty fucking far from all right. Well, that wasn't Samuel L. Jackson. That was Ving Rhames. But anyway, still. Same movie, right?
who we are, the great people, the Lebanese people. We have our ambassador here.
He probably when he hears the Lebanese people, I'm half convinced that he thinks it's the lesbians. Like, I don't know why Israel has to bomb the lesbians, but I love lesbians. They're great people. I don't think Israel should be bombing lesbians. Now, when it comes to the other gay people, I can bomb them too, but I don't believe in bombing the lesbians because I love the lesbians. Anyway.
Who has done a fantastic job. Ambassador to Lebanon from the United States.
For a really quick second, I thought this thing down here was a Star Destroyer. That's how much of a nerd I am. It's the stealth bomber, but I really thought that was a Star Destroyer. I was like, why does he have a Star Wars toy up on his desk? I mean, he's trying to get cred with the nerds.
And we had a great conversation, and I think it's the beginning of something very important. It'd be a wonderful thing to get this worked out.
They're being very, very bold there, allowing such a close-up picture of Donald Trump. Because if especially with that big boom mic that's hanging over, that big boom mic's got to be able to hear a, nice watery shit, whenever it happens.
Simultaneously with what we're doing in Iran. And I'd like to start by just asking JD, our Vice President, our great Vice President.
Did he say JB? Did he say JB?
It's worked out simultaneously with what we're doing in Iran. And I'd like to start by just asking JD, our Vice President.
It sounds like he's saying JB. Like, does he not know his own Vice President's name?
Our great Vice President, to say a few words, and then Marco will speak, and then the representatives from the country. Mike Huckabee, you'll say a few words, Mike. You've done a great job, by the way. I appreciate it. Everybody does. And JD.
I didn't even recognize Huckabee with that beard. Wow.
Please.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, congratulations.
JV? J-O is probably more apt, but yeah. Maybe he said JV. I don't know. Like junior varsity. Like, I'm the varsity team. He's the JV team. He's not ready to be on the varsity yet. I'm still here. I'm still kicking alive.
Congratulations to you and our Secretary of State, but most importantly, congratulations to the people of Israel and Lebanon. I think it's a major historic moment. We're going to extend the ceasefire for...
Why did he bring Huckabee back? To be ambassador to Israel, I think. I think that's what his position is, because, what better person to have as an ambassador to Israel than an evangelical Christian?
3 weeks that's already in place between Israel and Lebanon. Of course, it wouldn't have happened without the president's direct engagement. The fact that you have these leaders of different countries coming together for the first time, they came together in the Oval Office, and they came together because of energetic diplomacy, of course, led by the president.
Instead of the B team, it's the BJ team, says Jennifer.
United States. So I think it's a big moment for the world. It's a big moment for our country, but just very proud to be a part of it. So thank you, sir, for making it happen.
Thank you very much, JD.
Thank you, Mr. President, for hosting this. Actually, the president wanted to be personally...
It's little Marco. I said he's little Marco. He has big ears, but he's little Marco. He's always going to be my little Marco, even though I like him now. He's fine now, and they're going to get behind me, and they're going to have a cage fight to figure out who's going to be the next president.
Involved, and I'm glad he was, because it made it possible to get this extension, and it gives everybody time to continue to work on what's going
Lazy Vance, yes, that's a good one too, Josh.
to be a permanent peace. Between two countries that want to be at peace, both are victimized by the same terrorist organization. A terrorist organization that no doubt has victimized Israel, but has also victimized the people of Lebanon. The people of Lebanon deserve to live in a country that's peaceful and prosperous. They have an opportunity to do that. They have a history of that. And what's standing in the way is an organization that operates, a terrorist organization that operates within their national territory that threat needs to be eliminated. And so thank you, Mr. President, for this gathering today and for convening it and being a key part of it. And it buys us time to continue to work. I'm very optimistic that in a few weeks we'll be even closer to the kind of permanent peace that the people of Israel and Lebanon.
If he's the art of the deal guy, shouldn't he be the ones in charge of the deals? You know, because he's such a great deal maker, right?
Deserve.
Thank you very much.
Jeff Curry, hypothetical, do these people do anything fun during the afternoon? I don't know. I mean, I guess one person's fun is another person's boring stuff, right? I mean, so some people, fun stuff might not be. I mean, Donald Trump, you know, he might color in his coloring book or whatever, maybe when they let him, you know, away from the cameras, he might be, I love this color, it's a great color. I love coloring in. You like the nudie coloring books, the adult ones, so I can color in people to look exactly like I want them to. What's more fun than a circle jerk? Exactly.
Michelle, please.
Well,
Or that deserves
Oh my.
Anyway.
I would like to thank the President, the Vice President, and Secretary to make this historical meeting today that bring two countries that they've never been next to each other more than today in a way. This is 60, 70 years in the making, and today is really the historical day. Thank you, Mr. President, Vice President, Secretary, and well, I'm going to keep going, working for a peace that hopefully we'll get it as soon as possible.
Thank you, Bruce.
And if I love getting a piece. I don't just want the piece. I want the whole thing. Call back to the song you hear when the show ends.
Successful man. And when I asked him if he'd like to be ambassador to Lebanon, I said, could be a dangerous job. He said, well, I'm Lebanese. I was born in Lebanon
And I heard him, he said, I'm a Lebanese. I was like, wait, how can you be Lebanese? You're a man who likes women. That's not what lesbians are, or Lebanese, or whatever it's called. I don't know. But so if you're the lesbians from Lebanese, are you the people who are not blocking the Strait of Hormuz? Because it's the Strait of Hormuz, not the gays of Hormuz.
Your parents have a whole big history. He said, danger doesn't matter to me, really. It's something I want to do. He's very successful. He didn't need that.
Danger is my middle name. Yeah, baby, yeah.
And I think it's probably more dangerous than you even thought, but you've done a fantastic job. So.
It is an honor for me to serve you, Mr.
It's danger like no one's ever seen.
President, and then I'm going to go till the end.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And likewise,
all of my advisors will go to the end of the earth for me, and if they're not careful, I'll kick them right off the edge of the earth because the earth's flat. I believe it. I believe the earth's flat. It's gotta be.
Mike Huckabee, we all know Mike, and he didn't need it either, did he? But he's doing a fantastic job. Mike, go ahead, please.
I just want to say, Mr. President, what an amazing opportunity to be here at a moment of history. The people of Lebanon, the people of Israel are neighbors, and they want to get along. They can get along. But it's like neighbors who have a rough little kid living in the neighborhood who keeps throwing rocks at everybody's window. And if the kid will quit throwing rocks, the neighbors can get along and start actually working together. The President has initiated something that is truly bringing the neighborhood back to a neighborhood.
And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful favor, neighbor. Won't you be mine? Would you be mine? I've always said I want to live in a neighborhood with you, not those people, but with you. Those people need to not be in my neighborhood, but other people can. It really depends on how much money you make. Anyway. Of course, and then of course he has the 40. Why do they have 45 hats on his desk? Shouldn't they have 47 hats? Or are these just the leftover surplus 45 hats? I mean, can you imagine if President Biden had displayed his campaign hats on the Resolute desk or near the Resolute desk during his governmental press conferences?
Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, whole numbers would flip. Had Biden done it, the screen fell away. But Trump did it, so it must be okay.
Mr. Magoo, a neighborhood of you and me and the lesbians, because I love the lesbians. I'm so happy that Israel's no longer bombing the lesbians. Sir, it's Lebanon. I don't care. I'm going to call it lesbians because that's what I want to call it. So I play Ugly Kid Joe's version of Neighbor. Nice. I don't think I've actually ever heard that version, but I can still hear it. I can hear that version. Just like one person one time told me that there was a Real Big Fish version of Take on Me, and I was like, I've never heard it, but I can actually hear it in my head playing as just now that as you've said it. I can absolutely hear what it might sound like. And then when I actually found it on YouTube and played it, I was like, oh, it sounds exactly as I expected it to do, and it's pretty fucking awesome. So, but yeah. Or was it Weezer and not Ugly Kid Joe, or is there another version of, or is there another neighbor show from Weezer as well? Chad, pretty sure old Joe put in a MAGA hat once. Yeah, it's probably for April Fool's Day.
And recognizing that the problem is not Lebanon, and the problem is not Israel. The problem is Hezbollah, the bad little kid throwing rocks.
I mean, the head of the Israeli government, Netanyahu, is a problem. Don't get that wrong. I mean, he is a piece of shit as well. So, and he causes plenty of problems. Like, you know, I think we have a dead journalist now, like the piles of dead journalists that, you know, were found in Gaza, because Israel has no problem bombing the shit out of journalists because they don't like bad press.
That's what the president is getting launched.
Penny to create Donald, the Ayatollah cockamamie. That's really good. That deserves And it's good to see you, Penny to create. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you.
Today to get that little kid out of the neighborhood.
Thank you. Mr. Ambassador, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for your hospitality, for bringing Israel and Lebanon together here in the Oval Office. Israel wants peace with Lebanon, and Israel wants security for its citizens. We're united with the Lebanese government in wanting to rid the country of this malign influence called Hezbollah.
Well, look, getting rid of Hezbollah, decent thing. Getting rid of Hamas, decent thing. Nobody's going to complain. You know, nobody who actually likes peace is going to complain that you get rid of Hezbollah and you get rid of Hamas. But anybody who likes peace shouldn't also complain about, you know, removing the Netanyahu administration from power too.
Now that, Mr. President, under your leadership, Iran has been so degraded, the possibility of degrading Hezbollah and liberating Lebanon from their occupation is real. So we hope that together under your
And I heard degradation is fun, just like bimification, like Kristi Noem's husband, but I'm not going to put balloons under my shirt, at least not in public.
leadership, we can formalize peace between Israel and Lebanon in the very near future. And we are just very thankful for the opportunity.
Thank you, and I look forward to having you.
I'm surprised he hasn't put a hat on each of the busts, the president's bust. That would be funny. Yeah, exactly. Control or CRL 3232. Instead of putting on a hat, he stood on the UAW picket line, like one of the first presidents, or if not the first president, to stand on a picket line and protest with labor. But for some reason, labor thinks that the Republican Party is somehow going to be good for them. All because of the fact that, you know, they're able to, the Republican Party is like, we're going to be fine for you, and we don't deal with this pronoun stuff. Like there's a Senate candidate, Julia Letlow, who, when she was in charge of some university plan or program or department or whatever, was saying how diversity is a good thing. Oh no, diversity is a good thing. How terrible of her to say that. And of course, their ads like, Julia Letlow's with they, them, kind of like what they did with Kamala Harris during the last campaign. You know, she's not with you. And so, you know, here's the thing that I would love to talk to people who are the working class citizens who for some reason think that the Republican Party is somehow going to be good for labor. Like, it's not. But why do you think it is? Or you don't care that whether or not they're good for labor because they've convinced you that this whole trans issue is such a big deal that it's worthy of you caring about. Like, what the fuck difference does it make if people if people want you to use different pronouns for them? Is it really hurting you that much in your day? Is it really worth not having labor protections so you know that you owned the trans folk? You owned the folks who are non-binary? Is it really worth that much? Come on.
The next meeting with your great Prime Minister is a wartime Prime Minister with Bibi, and with the President of Lebanon. It would be fantastic. I think lots going to happen.
No one's ever talked to the president of lesbians before, but I love the lesbians and I would talk to their president.
Madam Ambassador.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, President Trump. Thank you for your leadership, for making sure to be presiding over this historic moment. I want to really say thank you to the United States under your leadership for all.
Exactly, Josh. They think good for labor means exploiting labor. Right.
all your effort to help and to support Lebanon. And I think with your help, with your support, we can make Lebanon great again. Thank you so much.
So thank you. I like that phrase.
Sounds nice, no?
It's a good phrase.
MNGA.
Thank you very much. I think we will. Any questions? Yeah, please.
President Trump, Anthony Mershak from MTV Lebanon.
Yes.
First, thank you for having us in the White House
Thank
for
you very
the year
much.
and a half.
Appreciate it.
This is historical for our audience as
It
well.
is.
We would like to ask you three questions. First question, the peace between Lebanon and Israel. Do you think it will happen this year?
I think it has a great chance. I mean, you know, they're friends.
Yeah, Donald Trump's not going to say no. He's not. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't have any faith in them. No, he's going to say yes. He's going to sugarcoat it. He's going to lie. He's not going to say anything. Like what? That's a dumb question to ask President Trump because he's never going to admit if he thought that it was not going to go well. He's never going to admit that.
About the same things, and they're enemies on the same things, and it has to do with, I guess you could say, a couple of countries, but certainly it's, if you look at Hezbollah, that's where everybody seems to be united against them. So they are both very united in that way. Yeah, I think there's a very good chance of having peace. I think it should be an easy one relative to some of the things.
Suzanne Jones, I give zero fucks that Caitlyn can't travel. Yes, I absolutely, we wept many tears for, oh no, boo-hoo for Caitlyn Jenner. Trump to be like, nobody knows this but Caitlyn Jenner because, you know, it's a trans woman. She's a lesbian because she's married to a woman, so therefore she's a lesbian. So I love the lesbians, although I make it hard for them anyway. That could be a oh my there if you really want it to be.
We're working on, it should be an easy one. But it's been so many years because
Mr. Magoo deleted that comment, but it was great. That was a great comment, Mr. Magoo. Come on. With taking the whole Trump, you know, the idea that Trump would mistake Lebanon with lesbians and then calling it Lesbullah. That's brilliant. That's fun. Why did you delete that? That's wonderful. I love that. Anyway.
nobody focused on it. But Lebanon was a great country. It was a beautiful.
Was Reagan this inarticulate? Well, sometimes during the end of the presidency, he might have been a little slower, but I don't think he ever got as many mistakes or mispronunciations as old Donnie Boy. And I don't think that's a very good Reagan imitation. I haven't worked on that too much, other than the, well.
Beautiful country, smart people, very brilliant people, doctors, professors, economists, some of the smartest people on the planet.
And they don't like him because, according to Donald Trump, smart people don't like him, which is true.
But it got torn apart by different factions and nothing having to do with them, outside factors. So I think it can be brought back pretty quickly.
And when do you think our president will meet Netanyahu here at the White House?
I think we'll do it during this period of time, during the 3-week period.
Oh, during this period of time. I mean, finally got the 3-week period. I was like, during this period of time, what, like the modern era?
Ideally. I'd like to suggest over the 3-week ceasefire. Right? If you can do that. Well, we're here. We'll do it in the Oval Office.
We're here. We're queer. Get used to it. That's what they say, right? That's what the lesbian says. We gotta placate the lesbians because we're trying to make peace between Israel and the lesbians.
Regarding Hezbollah, he's not responding to our government. He's doing whatever he wants. What do you say for Hezbollah? And do you
Israel has
think
to,
he will
Jennifer, Lesbo-la, do-do-do-do-do, Lesbo-la, do-do-do-do-do.
We're just talking about it. Israel is going to have to defend itself if they're shot at, and they will. I would never say that they can't. It would be nice if they wouldn't have to bother with that, but if something happens, they're going to have to defend themselves, as you know. But they're going to do it carefully, and they're going to be surgical as opposed to beyond surgical. And
I have the best words. Nobody has better words. Surgical or not surgical. You know, we use those words because I can't think of anything better because I'm a fucking moron. Anyway.
There's a lot they can do, but Israel's going to have to defend itself.
And regarding our Lebanese speaker, Nabil Berri reportedly told Prince Yazid bin Farhan that Lebanon will not move forward with peace unless Saudi Arabia is involved. What is your reaction to that statement, and do you believe Saudi Arabia must play a central role in a potential Lebanon-Israel peace process?
Well, Saudi Arabia is great, and they have a great leader. And I think that...
I don't care that 19 of the 20 hijackers from 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia. They're still great. We love them.
They'd be very happy with this. I haven't spoken to them, I will. This happened very quickly. But Saudi Arabia is going to be, they're great people, a great place, incredible.
Yeah, 250 kilometers. Yes, he said beyond surgical because he's a fucking douchebag moron.
Place, I know it very well. But I know the leader very well, and he'd want to see something like this happen. He's a tremendous guy. Okay?
Sir, and make Lebanon great again. This is our slogan on MTV Lebanon. Make America great again. And make Lebanon great again is our slogan on MTV Lebanon. That all the Lebanese and our audience are putting hope on you, Mr. President.
Make Lebanon great again.
Make Lebanon great again.
I'm gonna sue you. You're using my trademark phrase. I'm going to come after you and sue MTV Lebanon for using, my slogan. It's not fair that they do it. It's wholly unfair to me. That's my slogan, nobody else's. Thank you, Ali Ocean, for the bits. Let's see. MTV Lebanon news theme in the 90s. I want to hear what the MTV Lebanon news theme is. I was expecting to be like MTV, like like it was that type of MTV, but I'm guessing MTV Lebanon stands for something different than music television, right?
It's a good slogan. It works for here. I think it's maybe the greatest.
A genius would come up with that slogan, like it's great, like no one's ever seen.
It's political slogan in the history of the world, make America great again. But, we're great now, so I will never...
Yeah, okay. You keep telling yourself that, dude.
Say that we won't use that slogan, MAGA. But we have another one, America is back. Where's that at? Does anybody have a clue?
Guess who's back? Back again. America's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 This looks like a job for me. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the old one, and then show them the new one. And we're never changing MAGA. I don't have the courage to change MAGA. Make America great again, but we're great now. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
We're the hottest country. No one's ever better country, the hottest country. Instead of America's back, we're going to say take America from behind, because that's what Putin's going to do.
The most powerful country in the world by far. And we suffered years of abuse by people that were grossly incompetent, like Biden, like Obama. Obama was incompetent. He was a great divider.
No, the people that divided the country were the people that came out to the Tea Party rallies and started showing pictures of Obama wearing African garb and or with, swastikas on his clothes, like trying to pretend that he was the Hitler type analog, when in reality it's you, Donnie boy.
And we are...
And of course you played no part in the dividing of America by jumping onto the whole birtherism bullshit, but hey.
We're a great country again. We're respected all over the world. That's why this happened so fast. I mean, it can happen fast. Thank you.
Sir, the funding that has...
there you go. That's how you get his attention. You say, sir. That's how you do it. You make sure to say, sir, because that's the way to stroke his ego.
...that gets from Iran. Is Iran going to have to cut that off to do a deal with you?
Yeah, they'll have to cut that.
That's a must for you.
Yeah, sure. That's a must, yeah.
Mr. President, apparently there was a special forces soldier who was involved in the capture of Venezuelan President Maduro, who was arrested by federal authorities today on suspicion of insider trading and betting on Polymarket. Are you concerned that federal employees are betting on these prediction markets and potentially getting rich?
Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't mind it at all, because I'm making money too. I'm making money hand over fist with Polymarket and all the other markets that are out there. I'm going to make Trump Market. It's going to be the best one like no one's ever seen.
Well, I don't know about it, but was he betting that they would get him or they wouldn't get him?
It sounds like he was betting on his removal from office, that Maduro would be removed. It sounds like he was involved in the operation.
That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. It's a little like Pete Rose. Pete Rose, they kept him out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team. Now, if he bet against his team, that would be no good, but he bet on his own team. I'll look into it, yeah.
There are also bets...
Watch him pardon the guy who's like, He bet that for the success, and I don't have a problem with anybody betting on success of the American people. Let's pardon him.
They're being placed as well on the Iran conflict too, and there have been some trackings where people suspect that there's insider trading happening on these prediction markets around the war. Are you concerned about that?
The whole world, unfortunately, has become somewhat of a casino. And you look at what's going on all over the world in Europe.
And I love
every place
bankrupting
they're doing these
casinos.
betting things. I was never much in favor of it. I don't like it conceptually, but it is what it is. No, I think that I'm not.
Wait, what was that?
It is what it is.
Thank you, Donald.
Happy with any of that stuff, but they have all these different sites. They have predictive markets. It's a crazy world. It's a much different world than it was.
It's a different world from where you've come from. Oh, yes, it is. I never watched that show because it had the people that I don't like. I can't say who because I can't say it because people will call me racist, but you know, it is what it is.
We talked about the Fed's renovation. Can someone other than the Justice Department find out the things you said you wanted to learn?
Well, good. I mean, look, it's pretty easy. When you look with Jerome Too Late Pell, I have a real problem because he should have been lowering interest rates a long time ago. And despite that, we fought.
Is he covering a bruised hand? I don't know. It's possible. I mean, he always has that bruise on his hand typically, right?
Through it, and we have the greatest economy we've ever had. You take a look. I mean, we just
look at the stock market. The wealthy people are doing great. Who cares about the poors?
I don't know what the market is today, but we've broken every record over the last few days. And this is during a military operation or war, whatever you want to call it. It makes no difference as far as I'm concerned. But we have this unbelievable economy. The S&P has a new record. The Dow is right at a new record. We already broke the record with the Dow. People said it wouldn't happen in 4 years. They said in 4 years it won't be able to be possible to break 50,000. And we broke it with the Dow. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that we're breaking it constantly, even now, during this conflict. Because when we broke it, I called a lot of the people here. I called JD, I called Marco, I called...
They first said it was broken. I'm like, when are we going to fix it? We need to fix it. And then I put the fix in, and we fixed it, and we fixed everything else in the government for my benefit.
Howard, I called Scott. I said, I hate to tell you, fellas, but we have to do a little bit of a detour, and we have to go to Iran and make sure they don't have a nuclear weapon. We had just broken every financial record. And the amazing thing is we continue to break them even during the war. Now, fuel went up, but I thought it would have gone up much more. And a lot of ships are coming to the United States, and they're using the United States instead of the Hormuz Strait. Amazing things are happening. Our country is amazing. You know, we don't have an oil shortage. We drill, baby, drill. We are right now producing more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Did you know that?
But still, we have to pay higher oil prices because of the actions that you're taking, because oil is a global commodity, and as such, you can't restrict the prices that American producers are charging for oil because they're still selling it in a global market.
More, and in about a year from now, we'll be doing double the level. And Venezuela has been fantastic. We have a great relationship with that country and with the people that are running the country.
Wait, fact check which what, DB Golding? What am I supposed to fact check?
And we're taking in millions of barrels of oil, millions and millions from.
What, that we're producing more oil than Saudi Arabia? Is U.S. producing? Finished it for me. The U.S. Yes, the United States produces significantly more oil than Saudi Arabia as of course, this is coming from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, which, you know, is coming from the administration. The U.S. has held the position of the world's largest crude oil producer, breaking records for 6 consecutive years as of March 2024, which means it happened during Biden's administration too, but he won't tell you that, right? So while Saudi Aramco has a higher production capacity, their actual output has been lower than the U.S. to support market prices. So they've been supporting market. They've been artificially keeping their production of oil low to make sure that oil prices could go higher. So the reason that the United States produces more oil is not because we can, it's because they're choosing not to, because they want to manipulate the market, because that's how it works. So
Venezuela, it's been a great experience, to be honest with you. And they're doing a very good job, and they have our backing. Okay?
Mr. President, you said that
Can you just clarify again what exactly?
Here we go. Listen to this.
No. Just because the world is watching.
Just clarify. Here we go. Here's his bomb.
What have the two sides agreed to here? A 3-week ceasefire with the hope that the leaders come and meet?
Yeah, 3 weeks. And the leaders will most likely be coming here during that time. And I think when they do, that's a very historic meeting. They haven't met for many, many years, as I understand.
It'll be most historic like no one's ever seen before. DB Golding says, my point is not more than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. Probably not. I mean, then again, Russia's technically not supposed to be shipping it out anyway, but, you know, it is what it is, right?
They've never met. Think of that. They're next to each other. They're great people, and they've never met. This should be an easy one. Okay? Good question.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Just wanted to clarify.
The Lebanese law, we can't communicate with Israel. What we can do about this law? Like, if we talk to Israel, it will be a crime for us as Lebanese. And this is a question on behalf of...
How is it a crime? How?
And the Lebanese law, it's a crime. They put you in jail.
Well, I think we have to end that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something we're going to have to end. I've never heard of that. But that's a good start.
Wait, first he's going to be like, we have to end that because I don't like it, that we made it a crime, that you can't talk to people. Then he's going to be like, wait, why don't we have that here? We should have that here. We should make it a crime to do these things, and then therefore we can lock you up for saying whatever the fuck we want to.
It's a crime to talk with Israel. Well, I'm pretty sure that that'll be ended very quickly. Okay? I'll make sure of that. And
bullshit. I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
I know Lebanon doesn't want that. We'll end up. Will you work on that, please, everybody? That's crazy.
The ship that was captured on Monday, you said there was a gift for the Iranians in it. What was that in that ship? The one from China?
Yeah, well, we have. That's very top secret. Yeah, there was some in there, but it's top secret.
It was the Epstein files. We had to capture it as well, so they don't learn about my involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. There are videos of me going into the island and doing various things that I can't talk about. Probably.
I'd like President Xi about it.
This poor woman who tried to ask a question, like who's like the second over from that large boom mic, has not been able to get in a word in edgewise because Trump won't, let her have a turn.
That's one of those little questions where, oh, this is not good. No, it's we have a lot of things that we got. That the strait, what we've done with the blockade is amazing, and nobody.
Well, who's blockading it? Is it you blockading? Are you blocking the strait? Is Iran blocking the strait? Who's blocking the strait?
Nobody gets through, and nobody wants to get through. Nobody's trying. The one tried, they shut out the engine, but nobody's trying. We have
nobody's trying, but one tried, but nobody's trying, but one, maybe, I don't know. I have the best words.
Complete control. Now they can drop their mines in there and do all those stupid things. It's just going to take longer for them to make money because the mines are going to affect them much more than they're going to affect us. But and we don't know that they're doing that, but they could be that if they're doing it, it's a very foolish.
And we're going to name the mines after my favorite book, Mines Kampf. Anyway.
Thing to do, just like for Iran to shoot at Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar, and Kuwait, Bahrain, all the different places they shot. Nobody expected that. They thought they'd shoot at Israel in all fairness, but you didn't expect they'd be shooting at numerous other countries. I think it was a big mistake. If they're putting mines down, it's a big mistake for them, I will say.
Are you angry at China for what they sent Iran?
No.
So there's some...
I'm not going to be angry at President Xi because, he's, one of my friends. I look up to him, so I'm not going to be mad at him, even though I'll be anti-Chinese and racist against the Chinese.
Reporting today that
I guess we do the same thing, don't we? With other countries. It's like one of those things, but nothing that it wasn't earth-shaking. Yeah.
There's some reporting today, sir, that you tend to invite Vladimir Putin to the G20 in Miami. Is that the case?
No, but if he came, it would be probably very helpful. I've said a long time ago, when they made the G8, the G7, they threw Russia out.
I like a G6 better. I like to fly in a G6, not a G7 or 8.
Before my time, that was Obama and a certain prime minister from a place called Canada, Trudeau. And I said, that's a stupid thing to do. And I was right. You know, I go to these meetings of the G7, and about 90% of the meeting was talking about Russia and what's going on with Russia. And I said, why'd you throw them out? You know, if they didn't throw them out, they would have been much better off, in my opinion. You know, it should have been the G8. But when they threw out President Putin, he was very offended by that. He was, you know,
And I'd have to stand up for my boy Putin because I'm his bitch.
Rightfully, but he was very offended.
Big hook. I don't think Trump is capable of finding the G spot. He probably doesn't even care about it. That's the thing. He probably doesn't give a shit.
By that, I venture to say you probably wouldn't be having these problems if you didn't throw them out. Okay?
So he's not coming.
So there you go. He's defending. I see this woman right here. This reporter who's right here. She's just can't get in the question that she wants to get, and there's 10 minutes, fewer than 10 minutes left in this press conference. We should go to Polymarket. Will she ever get the opportunity to say something?
To the G20, as far as you're
Not that I
concerned.
know of, but
Because there are senior administration officials being quoted in news reports this afternoon that says
Huckabee looks miserable right there. I mean,
the Russians are being invited to at least ministerial meetings.
You're saying being invited as opposed to coming. I don't know of the invitation, but if he were invited, I don't know.
Would you like him to
Hey,
come? You're
I'm
the
of
head
the
of the
opinion that you talk to everybody. I'm not one of these guys saying, oh, let's not talk to him. You know, there's a war going on. Let's not talk to him. I like talking to everybody. If you're a smart person, if you have control over your
if you're a smart person, if you have control over your bowels,
emotions and all the other things you need control over.
That's the other things he needs control over. You have to have control over your emotions and your bladder and your bowels, or get some Depends. One of the two.
Somebody that believes in talking. I don't know of that. I don't know that he's.
I might not like to listen, but I like talking.
I mean, I doubt he'd come, to be honest with you. I sort of doubt he'd come.
Nobody comes with you, Donald. That's the point.
Oh, my.
But we're working on trying to get that one solved. That would be number 9. I've ended 8 wars.
Bullshit.
And that one is, they continue to fight. The hatred between him and President Zelensky is extraordinary, I can tell you.
Can I ask you a FIFA question, sir? What do you think of this idea of replacing Iran with Italy in the World Cup?
I don't think about it too much.
Okay.
I don't care about soccer. They call it football, but football for me is American football and no other football.
That's an interesting question. Let me give it. You know what? Let me give that a little thought. That's a very. Is that what they're doing? They're thinking about replacing him?
Apparently it's a proposal. Let Marco make his poly.
Marco, could you make a statement on that, please? What do you think of?
Yeah, there's nothing from the U.S. has told them they can't come. I mean, the problem with Iran, it would be not their athletes. It would be some of the other people that we want to bring with them, some of whom
Not their athletes? I mean, wow.
Whom have ties to the IRGC. We may not be able to let them in, but not the athletes themselves. But I don't know where that's coming from, other than speculation that Iran may decide not to come, and then Italy would fill this.
Book idea, Lies My President Told Me. That would be a tome, not just a book. That would be like multiple volumes. That would be like, a whole like encyclopedia. Like that would have nothing. Like the Encyclopedia Britannica would have nothing on the tome of books that would be created from Lies My President Told Me.
Spot. But if they decide not to come on their own, it's because they decided not to come. What they can't bring is a bunch of IRGC terrorists into our country and pretend that they're, journalists and athletic trainers.
Now you just gave them an idea. I mean, I had that idea too of like, oh well, if you let the athletes in, Iran's just gonna be like, oh like Folgers, we've replaced the athletes with terrorists. Let's see if Donald Trump notices.
Sir, is the government going to
We would not want to affect the athletes.
Is the government going to buy a stake in Spirit Airlines?
We shouldn't buy any stakes for airlines. That if they can't stay in business, we shouldn't buy them any stakes. I mean, maybe we can give them some old Trump stakes, but that's it.
So Spirit is an airline that's had some trouble. They were going to merge with People Express, or one of them, a number of years ago.
Wasn't it JetBlue?
When Barack Hussein Obama decided it was a bad idea. How did that work out? It's bad for both of them. That would have been a natural merger. Not United and American, but Spirit and the other.
And the other.
We're looking at helping them. We have 18,000.
We're going to take over. We're not going to have the federal government. It's going to be Trump, and we'll make Trump Airlines, and that's how we're going to save Spirit, by rebranding it Trump. And it'll be Trump Airlines, and you can fly it. And if you're on MAGA, you get a discount as long as you wear a red Trump hat.
People that live in this country that are great people and great employees, and we're thinking about doing it, helping them out, and meaning bailing them out or buying it. I think we just buy it. We'd be getting it.
Exactly. CRL 3232 says the administration released 5,000 Taliban prisoners and also invited the Taliban to come to Camp David.
Virtually debt-free.
What would have happened if Biden had invited the Taliban to come to U.S. soil?
Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, whole numbers would flip. Had Biden done it, that scream foul play. But Trump did it, so it must be okay.
They have some good aircraft, they have good assets, and when the prices of oil
What's up, Joe? Good to see you.
goes down,
We already know Joe doesn't support Trump anymore, so we have that answered already. We heard that on when he called in the last time. So
we'll sell it for a profit. I'd love to be able to save those jobs. I'd love to be able to save an airline. I like having a lot of airlines, so it's competitive. So we are.
I swear you're going to see Trump Airlines coming from Spirit Airlines, and he's going to use it, and he's going to make money. He's going to find a way to use the federal government to do a bailout with a merger with Trump the organization and make some sort of convoluted deal so that Donald Trump gets the profit from federal dollars coming in to save Spirit Airlines, and then they'll just make it declare bankruptcy anyway, because that's what Trump does.
Looking at Spirit, it's in a bankruptcy. It's in bankruptcy court, and
this only has less than 7 minutes.
we're looking if we could get it for the right price. I'd do it to save the jobs, and we have somebody that wants to run it, do a good job, smart person. And if they run it properly, and if prices come down, all of a sudden it's a valuable asset. And they have some.
And I put the ass in asset.
Very good slots too, which are pretty valuable.
And I love the slots.
Visit Lebanon and visit Ambassador Isa.
This guy gets to ask so many questions, and this poor woman just like, I can't get anything answered.
The embassy, because we're building a huge U.S. embassy in Lebanon. Are you going to plan to launch it for opening or attending for the opening?
You want to answer that?
Well, we're working on it. It's not done yet, but once it's done, I will ask the president to come and cut the ribbon.
We'd love to have you.
I have no objection to that. Go ahead.
In the UK today, they've just announced a total of $1.3 billion in returns from digital service tax, which you in the past have called an unfair tax on American companies. You know it very well. You previously called for investigations, but so far as we can tell, there has been none. Would you call for that?
So what tax is this?
A digital service tax. It's the kind of nicknamed the tech tax or big tech tax that kind of.
They're going to put a tax on basically American companies.
It's already there, sir.
Did you say the UK?
Yes, sir. They've made $1.3 billion.
I don't know what you're talking about, but we'll have to look into it and see how I can make money off of it.
Last year. So is that something you would kind of investigate, call for it to be scrapped, have a look at?
We don't like it when they target American companies, because basically you're talking about our great American companies, whether we like.
Only I can target American companies. Only I can make them pay tariffs. That's only my job. Nobody else can do it. I'm the bully. I don't like when other people bully the people that I bully.
Those companies that don't like them, they're American companies. And
yeah, exactly. DB Golding is going to bomb the UK to deal with it, too.
They're the top companies in the world. And we are looking at it. We've been looking at it. UK did it. A couple of other people did it. They think they're going to make an easy buck. That's why they've all taken advantage of our country. They don't take advantage of it. No, we've been looking at it, and we can meet that very easily by just putting a big tariff on the UK, so they better be careful. If they don't.
There you go. Of course, the tariff on UK goods means it's you're causing the people, companies more money, which means you're costing the consumers more money. And then when the Supreme Court says that tariff is not legal too, then the companies will get the money back, but the people won't benefit from it. So therefore, people get screwed yet again from your shitty fiscal policy.
Don't drop the tax, we'll probably put a big tariff in the UK.
What can they expect?
Good night, Susie. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you.
5%, 10%, something similar to what you've done before?
More than what they're getting. They shouldn't be doing that. That's doing is really targeting. It's targeting great companies, but they're our companies. It's like us targeting
The Ara companies. Wow, what a New York accent that was.
their companies,
Sometimes his New Yorkness comes out in his horrible voice.
which we could do very easily. But you don't have big companies like that. You don't have those great companies. Not fair. I have an obligation to protect our companies. That's how they became great. And they become great during my administration. My first 4 years, we had the best economy in history in my first 4 years, and this will blow it away. Look, during a war, we have the highest stock market. During a war.
Because the war profiteers are making money.
It's not a big war for us, but it's a war. And during a war, we have the highest stock market. I have to protect this country, so.
No, you don't have to protect the country. You're just protecting the wealthy people, because this country is an oligarchy at this point.
If they want to do the service tax, France did it also, and some others.
I will give her all the hugs, and I'll say one's from you, Susie. Thank you so much.
And literally, I have a meeting after this having to do with that exact question. And what we'll do is we'll reciprocate by putting something on that's equal or greater than what they're doing. And they won't be happy about that. No, that's enough. You've asked so many.
Mr. President, I emailed the Virginia Department of Elections earlier today and asked them if they had seen any evidence of election tampering or fraudulent mail ballots being cast in the Tuesday election, or if there was any evidence of non-citizens voting in that election. Why did you say that that election was rigged?
Well, you have mail.
Because it went against what I want, because I want to control the House for the next 2 years afterwards, and by them doing it, it makes it harder for me to get what I want. So therefore, that's why it's fraud, because it's rigged, because I lost. It's only rigged when I lose. When I win, it's not rigged. Or even sometimes it's still rigged, like California, even though I thought I won California, even though there's no way I would win California.
Mail-in ballots, and they found a lot of them at the end of the day. All of a sudden.
They release them at a particular time. That's how the mail-in ballots things work.
They have received no credible information related to those
Well, I
questions.
know you'd say that no matter what. You've been saying that for years, and now they're finding out that the 2020 election was totally rigged. And when you look at what just, excuse me, how do you
Don't interrupt me. It was rigged because I lost. That's the only way you can know. That's all you need to know. I lost, so therefore it's rigged because I'm the greatest president anyone's ever seen, like nobody's ever seen.
What just happened where your Southern law, whatever it is, has given money to KK.
The SPLC thing has nothing to do with elections, you dumb motherfucker. And the fact that y'all are upset, we talked about this yesterday, the fact that you're upset about what this SPLC was doing is not because you think they were funding the Klan. They were using funds to go after the Klan and get information from Klansmen, and you didn't like the fact that those people were snitching on your supporters because your supporters, a lot of them are in the Klan and other neo-Nazi Aryan Nation type groups. That's why you went after the SPLC, not because they were supporting these hate groups, because they were actually effectively targeting these hate groups and getting the job done.
Okay, they're supposed to protect people, and they're paying all these people, crooked as can be, millions of dollars going all to all these people that they're supposed to be protecting from, but they're actually supporting them because they want to have companies that they can protect and because they want to rig.
Companies? What are you talking about? I mean, this should be example right here of, this is him sundowning. This is why we need the 25th Amendment. Because he was asked a question about elections, and he's talking about the SPLC, which has nothing to do with elections.
Elections. That was all a rigged election.
And now he's back to rigged elections, but the SPLC had nothing to do with it.
Things with Charlottesville, all of the stuff that they did, and you won't bring that up, but you'll bring up some nonsense. Let me tell you, the election we were winning all day long. It's a totally horrible situation.
Yeah, because, when you bring in counts of votes, it's easier to get results from the smaller, less populous counties. And those smaller, less populous counties tend to be rural areas, which tend to be more conservative. That's why you would start seeing more and more, Republican votes at the beginning, because you've quickly counted those small counties, those small population counties. And then once the larger population, more urban centers, which tend to be more left-leaning, start having their votes come in, that's when the rest of the votes come in. So Donald Trump thinks he should stop counting at 2% if he's winning and say, oh, that means I won. And if I come back after being up with 2% of the vote in, therefore it's rigged. Again, if you believe what he says here, you're a dumb motherfucker.
Hopefully the courts will overturn it, what they did in Virginia. You have a grossly incompetent governor. You had a very good governor, did a good job. You know, all those companies that want to move into Virginia now.
And I like the name Youngkin because I like him young and I like kin.
Now they want to move out and go to a different location. So that's my opinion. I believe it was a rigged election. Virginia's known for it. It was a rigged election. They had a lot of ballots, mail-in ballots. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you have cheating. Did you have something?
Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you have cheating. Donald Trump votes by mail-in ballot. Because, you know, like the windmills, those are supposedly a hoax too.
A modern Don Quixote, he hates the windmills, claiming to protect the birds and whales he says they kill. But don't believe that story, it's really just a shill. He just did not want to see them wild golfing on Scottish hills.
Yes, you said that the U.S. will work with Lebanon to protect itself from Hezbollah.
Oh, she got to ask her question. Yay! I don't know who she is, but yay, good for her. I'm happy for her.
What does that look like exactly?
What is it?
You said that the U.S. will work with Lebanon to protect itself from...
Oh, we're just going to work with them. I mean, we have...
Because I love working with the lesbians. That's what I think they are. You can't tell me otherwise. I mean, I'm serious. Like, I really believe that the reason, like, he would support Lebanon because he thinks they're lesbians. He thinks it's Lesbanon or whatever it is. Because, you know, again, Donald Trump heard that people were coming to the country requesting asylum, and he was like, oh, they're sending us people from insane asylums. Like... He heard that we were having a military incursion and he called it an excursion. Like, he doesn't understand words. He doesn't understand what words mean. So...
A good relationship with Lebanon. It's amazing that,
but is it,
you know, it's the amazing thing is they actually have sort of a good relationship with Israel and they don't deal with each other, but now they're going to deal with each other. We're putting them together.
What's the material support that you intend to provide?
We're just going to help them. We're going to help them. They're great people. It can be a really good country again, maybe a great country again. And
make Lebanon great again. It's a great slogan. Only a genius could come up with that slogan.
I think you have all the ingredients, so we're going to work together. And I think Israel's going to be terrific. But they do have a common problem. It's Hezbollah. Okay, a couple of more.
Some House Republicans are saying that they don't want to vote for a bill that just has the Homeland Security funding. Would you support them expanding that to include other tax and defense measures?
Well, I'd love to see one thing. You know,
trans.
That is, Save America.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'd love to see the Save America Act, which is voter ID, which is proof of citizenship, which is, by the way, no mail-in voting, which is a fraud. Anytime you have mail-in voting, you're going to have a fraudulent election.
Fuck off.
But I'd leave it for military, you know, mail-in voting for military, for people that are sick, for people that are traveling, like business or whatever.
Let's make excuses for everybody that I feel needs excuses, but nobody else gets it. That's not equal protection of the law, motherfucker. That's not how the Constitution is supposed to work. You can't give some people the ability to mail in ballots and then not allow the other people the ability to mail in ballots. You're violating the equal protection clause of the Constitution. But y'all use the Constitution as toilet paper, so why would I be surprised about that? Yeah, exactly, DB Golding. That's what I said. If every time you have a mail-in ballot, it's fraudulent, then his votes are fraudulent. They should arrest him for election fraud because he's voting by mail, and all mail-in voting is fraudulent. Except when it isn't, I guess.
Things, but disability, where they have a problem, but no mail-in ballots. We added a couple of things. No men playing in women's sports. It's unrelated, but it's a popular thing.
Was there 10 in college that are 10 trans women playing in women's sports, and that's the concern? Yeah, okay, whatever, fuckhead.
And no transgender mutilization of our children.
That's not happening either. No trans kids are not getting mutilated. That's the big scare tactic used to try and vilify the trans folks, because that's what, his favorite leader from world history did, made sure to target the small groups of people who can't defend themselves and use them as the scapegoat for all of our problems. And then he's going to start sending them to camps.
So that's it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much. I feel like I have a shit coming on, so I can't ask any more questions. Otherwise, I'm going to shit my pants. Oops, I shit my pants. Anyway. So some states like Oregon use mail voting exclusively. Exactly. And you know, when Donald Trump cites Jimmy Carter's Institute about the whole thing about using mail-in ballots, the frick happened there? About using mail-in ballots, guess what? When he has, that's what happened. The screen just went black because it was over. Anyway, so he quotes the Jimmy Carter Center saying about how mail-in ballots can have a problem, but then they used Oregon as an example of if you have a state like Oregon who then has 100% mail-in ballots and they have good tight controls, that's the way you can do mail-in ballots safely. So he'll selectively pick and choose what he wants to say and what he wants to defend and how he wants to attack, but ignore everything else. Anyway. As you saw earlier, I am tired. I had a long day. I am exhausted. So no phone calls today. Apologize to anybody who wanted to make a call. I still have to process some of last night's Opus Clip stuff so I can get some of the shorts being uploaded today. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and supporting the show, for liking it, for sharing it, for helping the algorithm, because Al Gore needs more rhythm. We will end this show with a couple of songs like we always do, including some people's favorite, which is Everybody Knew, and some other ones as well. So again, thank you all very much. I don't anticipate being on over the weekend. There would have to be something really huge coming out that would allow me to do that. But otherwise, again, thank you everybody for joining. We will see you back Monday evening, same bat time, same bat channel. And just as a reminder, next week we will have a normal schedule, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or of the 27th, 29th, and 30th. But the week after, we're going to be on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. So we're not going to be on Star Wars Day. We won't be here for May the 4th. So I'll have to wish you on the Thursday show, May the 4th be with you, because we're not going to be on May the 4th. We will be on May 5th. So thank you so much. Appreciate everybody. Hey, Cosmic Rose, good to see you. Thank you for joining as well. Again, thank you, everybody. Let's listen to some original Liberal Dan music live on the air here on Liberal Dan Radio. Talk from the left. That's right. Hey, hey, hey.
He said nobody who healthcare could be so complicated. The Obamacare debate was 6 months litigated. Years of med school debt got capitalized. Insurance claim forms so high they nearly capsized. But he wouldn't know the frustration of trying to get prior authorization. Everybody knew, the whole world knew, the doctors, the lawyers, the CBO crew. Oh, 30,000 pages of ready review. It wasn't a big secret. We knew. He said people don't realize Obama deported, but the porter-in-chief is what La Raza retorted. Obama went after the violent folks and felons, Trump nabbed the dishwashers and people picking melons. But Donald's argument shows that he's not very bright. If Obama made some wrongs, two wrongs don't make a right. Everybody knew, the whole world knew. Univision, AP, the fact check crew. Oh, acting all surprised that the sky is blue. It wasn't no secret. We knew. He asked who knew a virus could be so contagious. Virologist blinked at someone so outrageous. He was surprised at how many countries existed that existed. No wonder when the virus spread, either one who missed it spread them out, slit red in every deadly hue. World Health Memo said we already knew. Everybody knew. Oh, the whole world knew. Oh, What with the flu? Oh, the nations of the world, more than 192. It wasn't a big secret. We knew. You unveiled oxygen like contraband air. Right 60. You sat down, claiming to discover chairs. War called money was this big surprise. Iraq has oil, can you believe your eyes? He said, we are divided, a surprise to no one thinking. And he was most surprised a Republican was Lincoln. Everybody knew, the world knew. The Christians, the Muslims, atheists, and the Jews. Like being shot, they have animals at the zoo. It wasn't a big secret. We knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew.
Obama and Bush's pictures got hidden, obscuring the past, history rewritten, hung in a hallway where no tour can see, confirming his unending fragility. If Trump can't see it, you must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list, object permanent, a milestone missed. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. The testing was the line that he said. Hundreds of thousands needlessly dead. Now HHS is run by brainworm quack, hiding the truth behind his back. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list, an administration run by narcissists. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. Of documents stacked floor to the wall, top secret folders in a bathroom stall. Charges were pressed, but the case was dropped. A corrupt judicial system he can co-opt. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. House includes the Epstein list. He'll swear it's fake news, a liberal twist. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. Encampments downtown, tents lining the street. Invisible people that power won't need. Hide them away so the cameras can't find it. Proof of a system that's cold and unkind. A chaotic secret, an NDA sign, an illegal bribe. Michael Cohen fine. Trump got fined too over his gag order, but she didn't gag, cause he was much shorter. If you can't see it, it must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. We can't let him win, we must resist. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist.
Trump piled debt, trillions tall. Promised Mexico would fund that wall. Praised dictators, said they're strong. Had Joe done it, they say he's wrong. Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done patriotism when down to blame.